Hi, YouTube. We're back. Seafood Clint says I'm too loud. I have to tone it down a little bit. So for that, I apologize. All right, fuck that. Pardon me. YouTube, we're back. All right. Big Sexy Kev Man. Big Sexy Kev Man. Thank you for the question, brother. Big Sexy Kev Man wants to know, what do you think about doing a Quan Sao, pairing with your Bong Sao, with your Wu or Tan Sao? Actually, what do you think about the Quan Sao period? That gives way to a great statement from somebody else earlier in the week, which I'm going to talk about. So Quan Sao, if you don't know, you take Tan Sao and your Bong Sao hand and you put them together. In Chum Q, the second form, it's here. You'll see us do it in the dummy. We're here. You know, there's two movements that in our system under Syed, we do second level outside gates or second level gates where we have an advanced Quan Sao or a high-low Quan Sao, or excuse me, Gan Sao, and then an advanced Quan Sao, either here or here. What do I think about it? In fighting context, I don't think about it. Because if Tony throws with a right-hand punch, you know, my Quan Sao here, right? Tony throws a punch, Quan Sao here. This is defensive. Same thing with the advanced Gan Sao. Tony punches here. Tony punches with his other hand, straighten again. Here, you take it inside or outside. My second teacher used to tell us that the advanced Gan Sao movement or high-low Gan Sao was meant to clear the line when you do not know an attack is coming in. You'll see us do it on the wooden dummy too. Tony punches. We come to the side here, clear. These movements have always got to incorporate forward motion, okay? So as Tony punches, I have to have a punch with there, okay? Once it meets an obstruction, it's got to find that, it's home, and the home is always along the core, the person's center line. That said, the Quan Sao has application in other movements, like if Tony grabs my wrists, you know, which guys do in bar fights, because we don't want these hands getting out. Quan Sao is great for popping a wrist up. But, again, it just doesn't hold there. It has to have a movement. If Tony punches here, my Quan Sao could be here, but it has to have that punch going in. This was one of the cool things that Light Burley we're going to talk about when he comes into town. Remember, Light Burley from 52 Blocks is coming in June 15th. So if you haven't called me yet to reserve a spot, reserve a spot. They do the skull and crossbones movement, which I'm not going to do because I'm not 52 Blocks trained and I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it justice. But people have said, oh, it looks like a Wing Chun Quan Sao. Granted, the position may be the same, but if he says it's not Wing Chun Quan Sao, then it's not. But for our application, Tony punches, Quan Sao's got to have that forwarding energy. Okay, you'd see the way I was trained too. If Tony takes his hand and lopsows me and punches with that hand, I can go to Quan Sao again. And we could do this all day long. He punches again, again. You know, that's great, but that's defensive. You have to have forwarding motion going in. He lopsows again, I have to come in and smother. Where this ties in is Ed and Ken from Windy City Wing Chun put a great post up. And I'm going to translate it my way, what I got out of there, which may not necessarily be what their way was. They were talking about how when you chi sao, the goal is to get the person to stick to you and not you sticking to their arms. Well, one of the issues with chi sao, when you see us chi saoing, is we roll and you'll see a lot of this. This is what I do to feed with my students, okay? I'm going to feed Tony energy, and I'll wait, and I'll wait for him to do a movement. Okay, and I'll wait again, and I'll move. And I'll move. If I'm sticking at Tony's hands this way, go, I'm reactionary to what he is doing based off of just feeding me punches. That's not how, I'm not sticking to his hand basing off that. And Ed and Ken are right. If you're just doing that in a fight and you got a bigger, stronger energy coming in, you'll get knocked on your ass 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times. Tony's not moving, he's standing there feeding me punches. Fighting off the bat has got to be your understanding that you're going into a physical confrontation and you're going to end it as quick as possible. It is not, I punch, Tony stops it. There's my Wing Chun. Oh my gosh, it's great. No, it's got to be you punch. You've got to come in as fast as possible and end that fight. How you do that when you chi sao? If I'm going to chi sao, okay, I'm not going to link up with somebody. That's not chi sao. That's crap. Chi sao has got to be the mimic of the way that you're going to fight. There's certain levels of chi sao, mind you. You can train, you know, you can be kind to your partner, let him get techniques done. But if you chi sao off the bat, you know, Oh. Thank you. You've got to come in off the bat. If he can't react to that huge based off the initial contact, then he's not sticking to my arms. What Ed and Ken were talking about was having them force to you. So if I come in, Tony's got to force to me. I'm going to make him stick to my movements. I'm going to dictate the pace so that he has to force and be stuck to me. I'm not going to go. I want to dictate the pace, and I want to come in very aggressive when it comes down to real live action Chi Sao. So Quan Sao is going to be defensive. I punch, Tony Tan Sao's, let's say Tan Sao right hand. Okay, now he goes to lop and punch me. Quan, punch again. Quan Sao, punch again. Quan Sao, then I do a movement? No. Quan Sao would be an application of he lop Sao's. It's got to be an opening right away. It's great when contact is already made. Don't you dare ever, you punch. Quan Sao, don't do that. You get your ass kicked. And then, oh, look, punch. Oh, there's my bug, and puck Sao that again. No way. You're going to get knocked on your ass. So to tie those two things in together, if you haven't seen Ken and Ed's post for Windy City Wing Chun, check it out. It's a brilliant post on that. Quan Sao, it has great application for Chi Sao, and when you're really close and tied up, you know, you're here, your Quan Sao can come in all forms of pinning movements. It's just forwarding energy with a Tan or a Wu Sao and a Bong Sao, and it has to go forwarding on there. Then you're exposing points, and you transition. It's literally just like a Bong Sao is. If Tony punches, I don't pose in Bong Sao. Tony punches, I'm forced in a Bong Sao, and I send it out immediately. Same thing with Quan Sao. Punch, it's reinforced there, right there. But it's for another movement immediately. You shouldn't even see it. So thank you, big, sexy Kevin, man. I appreciate that. And thanks for your comment, and we'll see you on the next video.